Now, I told Sharon when she was, said she was going to introduce me, so I said, make it simple. Because today's times, after Robert Smith just gave his speech for the Morehouse men, you have to be a little careful when you're standing in front of people now. Like, I'm telling Sharon, lower the expectations, right? If you say anything about being wealthy, say he wealthy in spirit and hope, those type of things, right? So how do I approach a speaking engagement? The first thing is really recognizing that it's not about me. I'm there for the audience. I'm there for the individual. I'm there for whoever is in the crowd. And so I need to make sure that as I'm speaking to them. I'm speaking to their needs. I'm speaking to whatever it is that is going to help them as they leave out of there. Whether it's going to be a call to action, whether it's going to be inspiration for them, it's going to be encouragement. So my first thing is to understand the needs of the audience. So again, I want you to make sure that you go into your profession with a heart to serve, because each and every one of you have received something that now puts you in the industry of service. So what does that mean? At some point, you're going to be the most important person in a person's life. So whoever's bringing me in, I have some questions that I ask them. Okay, what are we looking to get out of this? What do you want for the people that are in the crowd, for the individuals? What do you want them to take away from this? And then I frame it from there to say, okay, we're looking for inspiration. We're looking for encouragement. We're looking for a call to action. And then I start to look at, okay, what is it that I can bring to the table that is going to make that impact on them, that is going to actually deliver on whatever it is that they're bringing me in for. To my medical assistants, when someone comes in and they're sick and they need assistance, right? They want to get well. You're the most important person for them. To my electricians, when we just had a situation, right, where the power went out, everybody was like, okay, well, where are the electricians at, right? At some time, you're going to be the most important person in a person's life. And for my HVAC, when it's 95 degrees in the middle of June and that AC goes out, you're the most important person in a person's life. And after I, kind of figure those pieces out, from there it is, let me put together, whether it's a workshop, whether it's a presentation, whether it's a speech, let me start putting these things together that I feel is going to positively impact and empower them to go out and do whatever it is that the person is bringing me in for. So number one is just making sure that I understand that it's not about me. It's about the audience, and that's who I'm there for. So regardless of how I feel about it and what I may want to say, I need to make sure that it's going to be on point with whatever it is that the person that's bringing me in, what they're looking for, and what the individuals in the crowd need. How do I prepare? So after I understand the needs of the audience, the biggest thing for me is I understand that, to be totally honest, I understand that I can't cause you myself to take action. I can give you the information, but it's something else that's going to actually have to move you, right? And so for me, it is, I ask God to give me whatever it is that is going to positively impact the lives of those that are in attendance. The first thing that we actually need to do is to make sure that we are lining up spiritually. Now, this is church environment, right? Because I do speak in the corporate world sometimes, but guess what? I'm a servant 24 hours a day. So I never take off who I am. The person that you get in corporate America is the person that you get in the grocery store, is the person that you get in church, is the person that you get in the football game. I'm me 24 hours a day. And the one reason I tell people that is because it's hard being two people. I don't feel the need to change, right? I'm gonna be who I am. So the first thing I think we need to do is to line up spiritually in order for us to understand what is the visions that God has for us. So I understand that I can get up and I can say words all day long, but it has to be something else that allows those words to move you. And so in that instance, for me, it is truly going and having a conversation with God about what is it that you want me to give to the people. So understanding what the needs are of the people, what is it, a call to action? Is it inspiration? Is it encouragement? And then from there, God, give me whatever it is that I need to tell them that is going to cause them to, take action, that is going to cause them, to have their spirits lifted up, right? For them to be encouraged to take that next step, to get out of a situation, whatever it is. But I understand that it's not just by my words, it is truly by, it comes from somewhere else. Like, I'm giving them the message that's given to me by God, who is actually going to create that action for them.
And let me pause for just a second. Parents, I just want to give you I'm going to get off the students just for a minute. But parents, let me speak to you just for a minute. Moms, I know that's your baby boy. I know it. But it's time that he becomes a young man. So you're going to have to let up some. Fathers, I know that any knucklehead come along, right? You want to straighten him about your baby girl. I know that. But it's time for her to become a young woman. What I'm saying is, trust what you instilled in them. Are they going to make mistakes? Yes, we all did. But trust what you instilled in them. They're here because of your teaching and your guidance and your leadership. They're here today for that. So trust that when they go off, the things that you instilled in them are still going to stay there. They're going to hold those dear to them. So trust what you put in them. Now, I know some of y'all are saying, that's easy for you to say. Nah, my baby girl, she right there. So I'm pretty sure she taking notes. So when she get ready to go off to school in a couple years, she going to remind me of what I just said, right?
Some of the things that I enjoy, really the number one thing is just being able to positively impact someone's life. In some instances, people are they may have a similar story to yours. They're in a situation that is similar to something that you've come out of. So to be able to help them understand how you got over whatever that challenge was. For some, it is seeing the light bulb come on in their eyes to say oh, I never really thought about certain things in that way. To help them take certain aspects of maybe their career, their professional life to the next level. And so just really being able to see that people are taking that information and they're going to utilize that in some way to make a positive change within their life.
I talk to a lot of students right now who say, I took this for granted. They're in their senior year right now and they're begging for a job because they say, I took it for granted. I didn't do what I was supposed to do throughout the 4 years. So make sure that you go in to complete the assignment. The goal is to go get the education and now go take it and apply it, not to just get there. So there's going to be certain things that you may have to turn away from. It only becomes a distraction when you give it your attention.
So just the love of, giving back to someone in that way, through the gift that I've been given, the verbal communication piece, and just seeing them take that information and utilize it to change their life in some way, that's truly what I love. So what are some of the challenges of public speaking? I would say understanding that there's two sides to it. There's the business side, and then it's the side that says, this is just what I love doing. But just determining which aspect and which avenue that you're going to take. Are you going to do it just because it's something that you love, or do you truly want to turn this into a business? And a lot of people, when you get into the public speaking realm, it is you see other public speakers. Some of the ones that are considered to be at the top of the public speaking arena. And, you become infatuated or you fall in love with that aspect of it.
The action has to change. See, what I found out is I wanted to get certain things done within my life. And in order for me to get there, I started having to spend less time around the people that had what I had and spend more time around the people that had what I wanted.
But understanding that if you're going to actually take this into the direction of a business, there's a lot that goes into it. And I don't think that as public speakers starting out, that's something that we truly understand. So we jump right into it and say, man, I have this gift, I have this skill set, I have this talent, I want to speak, I want to pour into people, I want to encourage, I want to inspire, because it looks good. But then it is, okay, now as I'm getting into it, should I be getting paid for this? You know, you hear about other speakers getting paid, and then it's like, okay, I want to turn this into a true business. Now there's all kind of other aspects that go along with that. It is, you know, understanding your speaking fee, like understanding the fact that you have to go out and find opportunities for where you're going to speak, to have people to bring you in. And so just understanding the two sides of it. We get into it because of the love, but then when we start understanding that, you know, this is truly a business, it can be turned into a business. And now it is figuring out, how do I go about making this an actual business for myself, that I can go out and get paid for this. And so I think that's some of the challenges, is just understanding that there is a business side to this. You can do it all day for the love and not get paid. But when you start looking at it from a business aspect and saying that that is something that you want to get into as professional, then there's a lot more that comes along with it.
And I guarantee you that the things that God has for our life are greater than the things that we want for our life. When God says that, I ask God, I say, you know what, I want to be a speaker, and I want to do these things, and I want to, you know, travel over to this place and that place, right? And God said, I will enlarge your territory when you enlarge your vision that lines up with what I have for you.